Guys, welcome to the Unforgiven one-shot PvP build. This is going to help you get those gold banners in all PvP modes and increase your win rates in PvP. Alright guys, so first we'll go over the build information, the weapons, the armor, the talismans I'm using, and the stats. But first, from a Fashion Souls perspective, I love this look. Really was going for kind of an intimidating gladiator style strength build. Looks like he's made to do battles in the Coliseum, intimidating your opponent when you're doing battle in PvP, making your opponent scream no mas in the middle of a match. So that's the look we were going for, and I think we got there for the most part. Okay, so let's get into the weapons that I'm using. I'm dual wielding the Grafted Blade Greatswords. With buffs, these do over 3,000 in damage. They have a great moveset. Hands down, my favorite weapons to use in PvP. In this video, I'll demonstrate how you can get the most damage out of these swords and showcase the best moveset combinations to maximize your wins in PvP. For armor, I'm wearing the Raptors Black Feathers. This is critical to this build as it gives you an extra 10% jump attack power and stacks with the Claw Talisman for 25% extra jump damage. I am rocking the Bull Goat Greaves for high damage negation and poise. I'm wearing the Knight's Cavalry Gauntlets, which fits really well with this build. And up top, we're wearing the Crucible Axe Helm. I love the look of this piece of armor. Ties everything nicely together with this build. Okay, so for talismans, each one of these is critical to running this build. The Claw Talisman increases our jump attacks and stacks with the Black Raptors Feathers armor, providing 25% overall damage increase. The Erdtree's Favor +2 increases our HP, stamina, and equipment load. The Great Jar's Arsenal gives us a whopping 19% increase to our equipment load. And the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman reduces physical damage done to us by 20%. So all of these are needed to run this build successfully. Let me know if you have any questions on how to get any. All of them are pretty well documented on YouTube. Alright, now let's get into the build stats. The level on this build is 212. Now there's no rhyme or reason for that. This was my New Game Plus character that I was using when I started doing invasions in PvP, so I just stopped leveling. So you can adjust lower or higher as needed. But you can see below the distribution of points. Vigor 60, Mind 20, Endurance 40, Strength 80, Dexterity 40, Intelligence 17, Faith 25, Arcane 9. So for spells, you're going to want to equip Golden Vow. That increases your damage and raises defense. This also stacks with Flame Grant Me Strength. That also increases your damage. Then I have Lightning Spear equipped, which is a great sniper miracle. And then the Lord's Heal, which greatly heals yourself and nearby allies. So you can add spells as needed, but I find cycling between too many spells in PvP is distracting for me. I like keeping it more tight, but you can add as needed. Now let's get to damage. As you can see, the damage of the Greatswords at +10 is 856 each, which is enough to one-shot a lot of builds with our jump attack, which adds 25% more damage. But now I'm going to show you how to increase that damage all the way to 1201 for each Greatsword. So first cast Golden Vow. That's going to increase the damage to 985 per Greatsword and over 2400 for our jump attack. Next, cast Flame Grant Me Strength, which skyrockets our damage even higher. And then press the Weapon Art button, which increases all of our stats by 5 points. And that takes us to 1201 damage per Greatsword and over 3000 damage on our jump attacks. In the arena, you want to be smart about how you manage your FP since it's limited. And you can one-shot a lot of builds without any buffs, and you can one-shot most builds with just one buff. So as an example, here's me one-shotting an opponent with no buffs at all to start the match. But my general rule of thumb on buffing is buff twice at the start of the match, as shown here, if your opponent lets you. The reason is after your first kill, your FP automatically resets anyway, so you don't need to worry about conserving FP at the start of the match. Then, after a kill, buff yourself right before they respawn, so you're good to go for the next round. Now, some players will try and attack you right away so you can only buff once, and that's totally fine. You'll be able to one-shot nearly all builds with one buff. Now that we have the basics down, let's get to the PvP showcase. Time for my favorite part of the video where I showcase this build in the PvP arenas against all types of builds. Below are the chapter categories. Each of these chapters is going to show you how you can maximize this build's potential to dominate in the arenas and increase your win rates in PvP. So without further ado, let's start with the one-shots. So here's my tip for one-shots. Manage your distance and always keep yourself within range to launch a dashing jump attack. I always keep my finger on the dash button and only release it to refill my stamina bar, then it's back on the dash button. With this attack, you'll be able to interrupt any weapon art, move, or heal your opponent throws at you, provided that you have good distance and timing. Once you learn good distance and timing, this move will be easy to execute and you can launch this attack on a moment's notice. This build's moveset will allow you to fight confidently at a close distance. You can punish with rolling pokes, and the Grafted Blades have great angles on its R1 and R2s to catch your opponent off guard. You can trade with pretty much any weapon and tank through most hits. So if you like fighting up close and personal, this is a great build to do that. Jump combos. There are a lot of ways you can set up your opponent for a jump attack finisher. The rolling R1 attack in most cases will cause your opponent to roll backwards. Simply dash forward and jump attack and finish them off. This is one of the bread and butter combos of this build, and it's easy to pull off. Mix in other combo moves such as the overhand R2 to keep your opponent guessing. You can play around with mixing and matching different 2 and 3 hit combinations to finish your opponent off, setting them up for a jump attack finisher. Using the lightning spear as a combo finisher after a jump attack is another go-to move. Your opponent is usually panic rolling or running backwards trying to get enough distance to heal or throw an attack, giving you the perfect opportunity to end the fight with a well-timed lightning spear. The dash R1 on this build has a great sliding angled attack that is great for catching your opponent off guard as they are coming into attack. You can use this as a finisher as I'm showcasing here, or you can use it as they are charging in to start a combo attack. The sliding angle makes it really hard for your opponent to pick it up, so play around with the angles to make the best use out of this attack. The dash R2 has a great over-the-top delivery that is hard to read and lunges forward, making it great to use as a charging attack. This also works really well to punish your opponent after they miss an attack. It's also great to use to catch your opponent as they are rolling away. Definitely mix in the R2 in your arsenal of attacks to keep your opponent guessing. It has quickly become one of my favorite moves to use throughout the fights. Countering constant pressure, especially from aggressive spear users, is something you'll need to do to win a lot of matches in PvP. Luckily, that's something this build does extremely well. Here's the technique. Let the aggressor do all the work for you. As they charge in, all you need to do is jump straight up and straight down with an L1 attack. Don't jump forward, don't jump backward, just jump straight up and down. The same technique works for any type of opponent charging you, regardless of their weapon. You just need to learn timing. Just be patient, let them charge at you, then jump straight up and straight down with the L1 attack, and they'll think twice before charging you again. The other way to counter spear users is with a rolling poke. Turnabout is fair play, so roll through their pokes and return fire with a rolling R1 poke of your own. This is also a very effective strategy to neutralize them. The Rivers of Blood weapon art is easy to counter with a dashing jump attack. Just give yourself the proper distance and then launch your attack to end the fight. Use this every time you see your opponent use that weapon art for an easy victory. Lightning Spear is my go-to miracle for punishing an opponent who is trying to run, heal, buff, or just to finish them off when they have a sliver of health left. It comes out really quick, and you can use it in both short and long distances. There are few things in Elden Ring that feel as good as a well-timed Lightning Spear. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I have a ton of Elden Ring content coming, and we'll be dropping at least one video a week. So please subscribe to the channel, join the team, and get access to all my upcoming videos as they drop. Take care, guys.